Hello and welcome to this quick overview and review of this thing here. This is the new ISDT K2 charger. Now this is one that I have been desperate to get my hands on because I am a fan of ISDT chargers. In fact, it's quite interesting for people like me that get lots of kit in. The big question I would always ask somebody if you ever meet them at a show is, so what chargers do you actually use, or what goggles do you use, or what radio do you use? Because although I've had lots and lots of different chargers through my hands, there are two that are actually on my bench that I use all the time. One of them is a SkyRC Q200 that I've had for a couple of years. 4-port charger that gets dragged out when I'm going on a big flying day and I have loads of batteries to charge up. However, for little quick flights, or not so quick flights actually, when I've got a lot less stuff to do, I use this thing here. This is the ISDT D2. Now I looked at this a while ago. The D2 just sits on my bench. In fact, you've probably seen it. It lives there. Powered from the mains. It's a 2-port charger and it has a USB port at the side. So the way it tends to work is if I'm going out flying the DJI kit, for example, I'll have the battery for the model charging on one port. On the other port, I'll have the battery for the DJI goggles charging on the other one. And I'll plug the DJI FPV controller, because I have one of those, I use that with the system, into the USB port. And it's all charging off one thing. And this is nice and quiet. I can actually do video and recording and audio. It only pops the fan on when it gets particularly hot. So with this being such a beloved charger of mine, and again, living there behind, now you know what that is, one of the things that you're looking at. The other one, by the way, that's just my 3D printer. That's why I'm so excited about having a look at this new K2. So let me do the standard stuff. I'll put Timecodes down below. Let's unbox it. I'll go through the specs. Let's put it through its paces, and I'll tell you what I think at the end. So let's go through the specs while I unbox this thing. This box took a little bit of damage through the post. However, it has survived intact, and ISDT always make really beautiful boxes. And that sounds like a daft thing to say, but it does mean that when it arrives, whatever's inside, even if it gets kicked around, will survive. And I'm going to compare it to the ISDT D2, if I can say it, as I've just shown in the introduction, just because this is the one that I think it is the successor to. Now, the input voltage from this is a dual voltage unit, unlike the D2, which only runs off AC. So this will run off DC and AC. So AC is 100 to 240 volts, DC is 10 to 30 volts. Output voltage on this is 1 to 30 volts, and it will go up to 6S batteries on both ports. Maximum input current is about 35 amps. Maximum charging current is 20 amps, one on each side. Discharging current, because it will do discharging as well. It's got all the standard features, you know, discharge, storage, all that stuff. It'll pull about 1.5 amps per cell. AC power on this is about 200 watts. That's the same as on the original D2. Bit of a shame, that I would have liked a little bit more on this, just for higher capacity 6S batteries, and it's 500 watts DC. Supported types of batteries are pretty standard stuff. It does have a funky feature called parallel charging and current, and the working temperature is 0 to 40 degrees C, and the fan in this will make quite a bit of noise, but I'll show you that in a second. Weight's about 700 grams, but it's quite significantly bigger than the original D2. Quick look around the ports. So on the front we have the standard stuff. We have the XT60 connectors along with the balance port and the USB-C style. We also then have the dual connector at the back for power, and then we have fans on both sides to suck the air through, as well as a big honeycomb grill at the back to keep everything nice and cool. Separate controls for each channel. So let's plug it in and I'll show you what it looks like in action and what I found. First thing to note is the power that you get with it does fit nicely. However, if you try and use one of those cables that hasn't got the right angle in, it won't sit flat. And that does mean that you have to keep this cable with the unit. It's not one of those things that if you went to the field and you had a power supply, you would always not be able to sit it flat. One of those things that's just a little annoying. They could have sorted that out by situating the two ports in a slightly different way. So I'm going to plug this in. No power switch on this, just like most of the ISDT stuff. As soon as it's plugged in, it's going to power up and boot. Very standard screen on these kind of ISDT pieces. I do like the ISDT stuff. This screen is a nice, bright, clear, easy to read screen. It doesn't bombard you with information, just lets you sort everything out. Pressing the middle button on the channel that you're interested in gets you into the menu, and then pressing the up and down arrows lets you navigate. So let's just plug in this new 4000 milliamp hour 4S pack. And there we go, it's detected it's 4S, it's given me the battery voltage, the individual cell voltage range. So let's go and actually start this thing charging. So we've got all the different battery voltages. So we can see the cell voltages, we can see the internal temperatures, the wattage that's been using, all of that goodness. So if I press and hold the middle button, that'll take us into the settings, and we can decide what we want to do here, charge, discharge, whatever. And there are some shortcuts at the top for different amperages, which is nice, but I'm going to select the 4 amps and then select go or start. And away it goes. So it's going to quickly ramp up and start to charge the battery. Once the battery is charging, it will allow you to check the cell resistances, which is brilliant. See my video on why battery cell resistance is important. We can see here that these cells aren't badly matched. It's pretty standard. This is what you'd expect from this kind of battery new out the pack. Would have been nice to have a little bit closer, but I'll probably spend more money on a battery to get like that. As this is sat here running away, the temperature internally as it starts to charge the battery, and this is just on a single 4000 milliamp hour 4S pack, you'll notice that the internal temperature is coming up. You have the amount of time it's been running in the top left hand corner and the battery percentage in the top right, which I really like to see. Actually, I like battery percentages. I've always used those in things like the battery checkers that I've had here. The one thing that you might note here is that the fan will come on quite quickly, and it will stay on, and it will increase in pitch as the temperature inside the unit increases as well. And it gets quite loud and quite annoying. So unlike the D2, which will just bring the fan on and cool itself down and then turn the fan off, this K2 seems to have a pretty consistent fan, and it's running all the time. So I'll just shut up and kind of give you an idea of how much noise we're getting off it. But this is definitely something that you wouldn't be able to do audio recordings or kind of have running away in the corner of a lounge while you're watching a movie. So in summary, what do I think? Well, I like the solid construction. This is quite a weighty piece, and it is put together like all the ISDT stuff just beautifully. Apologies to those who always hate it because I don't pull the cover off. The reason I'm not pulling the cover off is this is not going to replace my D2, but I'll come on to why that is in a minute. I like the dual ports. Dual ports, I know it sounds like a weird thing, but it halves the amount of time that you have before you go to the field. If you've got 4 batteries to charge, you can have 2 going at once. But for me, the USB port is a really, really important part. It's a shame that they don't have that USB port in here, like on the D2 that you can plug in. You can get a cable, and it would be nice to have had a cable that you could plug in. This one I think is more designed to be used to actually update the device. Having a proper USB 2 amp standard port like on the D2 would have just been so nice. You know, if you're doing this again, ISDT, if you're watching this, don't forget to give us that, particularly those of us that have things like the DJI kit or things like the Runcam cameras or GoPros, actually, that charge quite nicely. It just gives you another way to get them charged up while you're doing your batteries at the same time. The screen is really clear. I love the fact it's 6S capable. The menus are beautifully easy to navigate and really simply set out. I love the fact it's got cell resistance measurement. That is the only thing at the moment that's missing off the D2. Bit sad about that, but I do use other systems and things to check cell resistance. And it also, if you check the manual, will do that thing called parallel charging, which is a nice feature, but again, something that I probably personally wouldn't use. So why wouldn't I replace it with a D2? Well, I've kind of given a couple of hints already. First of all, there is no regular USB port for charging. So as well as charging two batteries, I cannot charge my Runcam, my GoPro, or my DJI FPV controller at the same time without trying to source a separate cable. That's just a bit of a pain in the It is a lot bigger than the D2 for the same amount of power. These are both 200 watt AC units. It would be nice to have a little bit more power available with such a big unit here. The dual power is a really smart idea. I love the fact that you can run it off a battery if you're at the field, or you can run it off mains. However, having the mains connector on this part rather than in the roof would allow you to use other connectors as well. Now, interestingly, if you look at the way that they did it in the ISDT D1, and I'd love a 2-port version of this. This is actually a really nice little charger. You can see here that the way they did it is they had both of the ports actually coming out so that it could still sit on the bench and you could still plug it in. This is a much better way of doing it, in my humble opinion. So they kind of goofed up when they did that way around. You've kind of got to use that right angle cable or just accept it's not going to sit flat on the table. And it's little design touches like that, along with the USB emission, that just kind of niggle me about this unit. And the last thing is the fan. The fan is very loud, in my humble opinion, and it's incessant and it increases in noise. Just when you think it's not going to get any faster, it does, and makes even more noise. But this is a charger for a 2-port charger. If you're not bothered about the USB stuff and the things like the power cable don't bug you, this is another solid charger from ISDT. But for me, it's unfortunately this D2 is going to go back in its spot behind me. This hasn't quite beat the D2. What I'd love them to do is bring out a D2 with internal resistance measurement and a little bit more power, and then that might be the one that actually replaces it in my day-to-day kit. Thank you for spending your time today watching that video. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you're trying to learn about a subject, then check out the playlist. All of my videos are organized into easy to follow playlists that, if you're trying to learn a topic, will take you from the basics right the way through to some pretty advanced stuff.